Joe Biden is the first president in history of this nation who came into office and unsecured a border on purpose. Not by mismanagement, not by incompetence. They unsecured a border by design. Well, there's over 2 million known gotaways. Why did 2 million people pay more to get away? Why didn't they pay less to be turned over to the Border Patrol, be released within 24 hours, get a free airline ticket to the city of their choice, get a free hotel room at $500 a night, get 3 square meals a day, get free medical attention, and get work authorization within 120 days? Why did they pay more not to take advantage of this free giveaway program? Because they didn't want to be vetted. They didn't want to be fingerprinted. These are your gang members. These are the ones carrying fentanyl across the border. And these are people from terrorist-related countries.
The adults are back in charge and reality is starting to set in among the left, right? They are now crying their liberal tears that Tom Homan, in fact, does intend to completely secure the border. Now, over here, we have, of course, a little piece from the Washington Post where liberals have gone into meltdown after Donald Trump's border security chief confirmed that illegal immigrant families with children will be held in detention centers. Tom Homan, who will oversee Trump's mass deportation plan, was unsparing in a recent interview with the Washington Post, telling the publication that the onus was on the parents of the children. You knew you were in the country illegally and chose to have a child, so you put your family in that position, Homan said as he defended using detention centers, right? So we are done with catch and release. We're done with issuing court dates 10 years down the road. This is all over. It's got to be shut down right now. And Tom Homan, of course, is the person to take this incredibly seriously. But of course, the leftists over at CNN don't understand how this plan can actually take effect. But before we get these clips, go ahead and like and comment on this video so we can break through the algorithms. Here we go.
One of the things I've heard him give a lot of interviews, and I know he understands the problem that they want to solve, but he doesn't seem to have a sense of the scope of what it's going to take, what it's going to cost. And that's a critical question.
Well, I actually had a meeting with Tom Homan the other day, along with a number of my colleagues, and we talked about this very issue. Look, it's already costing states like New York billions of dollars of taxpayer money to provide free housing, clothing, food, education, and health care to illegal immigrants. Then you have the situation where you have criminal aliens committing violent crimes, just as we saw a woman being burned alive on a subway by a man who was previously deported and then came back into the United States illegally. The fact is that what Tom Homan is going to do is start the process of deporting criminal aliens out of the United States. And sanctuary states and cities like New York need to cooperate. This idea that you're going to violate federal immigration law, that you're going to use taxpayer money to provide all of these free things. By the way, while Kathy Hochul in New York is charging New Yorkers $2,500 just for the privilege of driving to work in Midtown Manhattan, it's a joke. This is the stuff that needs to stop. So, yes, there is a price tag. Yes, it's going to cost money. But the reality is we cannot continue to have this massive influx of illegal immigrants coming into the country. Since Joe Biden took office, over 10.5 million people. That's unsustainable, and it's costing us billions of dollars.
So that's New York Rep. Mike Lawler, and he's basically putting Abby Phillips in her place, right? She's thinking, this is going to cost so much. Does Tom Homan really have any idea of what the price tag is going to be to round up all of the criminal illegals that are actually hurting our nation and costing us so much money per year? It's like, yeah, we actually do know because we have budgets, okay? New York City is spending $387 per migrant each day, according to New York Mayor Eric Adams. Okay, and of course that adds up to being about $5 billion on shelters and security, and could of course double by 2025. And actually just read a report that said it's going to be $12 billion up through 2025. So this price tag you're talking about is non-existent compared to the actual price tag that we have of trying to take care of these illegal immigrants, right? How much is a plane ticket? $300 to $500 one way? Go ahead, right? You're saving money if you put all of the illegal immigrants on a plane and send them down to Mexico compared to what you're doing every single day, providing, as was mentioned, the food, the healthcare, the housing, the education costs, right? All of that is coming out of taxpayers' wallets. And of course, that's why you have all of these leftist cities, these sanctuary cities, charging so much in taxes. Why is it so expensive to live there? Oh, because we're doing free giveaways, not just for the populations who don't work, the homeless, the unemployed, etc., but also now for the illegal immigrants, people who are not even citizens of this nation. So yeah, people are sick and tired of all this stuff. We're fed up. We're done with it. And the cost is actually be much less than taking care of them over the period of years they'll be here before they actually could possibly find gainful employment and assimilate into this country. However, a bit of a rift has opened up among Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Donald Trump on this issue of guest workers coming into this country. Let's go ahead and check this out.
Why I can never figure out why is it that when on the right some of these anti-immigrant folks talk about this, they're not also talking about what it actually is going to take to bring American workers to these jobs, right, whether it's raising their skill levels, et cetera, because I guess they don't want the government to be involved in that. But don't you think it has to be at this scale?
Look, this, I think, is one of the biggest issues that we have to tackle in this Congress. Yes, we need to secure the border. We need to stop the massive influx of illegal immigration. But the fact is we have a population decline in this country, and we have a workforce shortage. We have a shortage of doctors, nurses, engineers, home health aides, ag workers, construction workers, hospitality workers. We need to not only have an immigration system that works, that has a legal process that people who want to come here and enrich our community, our culture, our economy can do so. But we need an education system that is ensuring that we are building the workforce that we need. It's not just about having a pipeline to college. We need a pipeline to the jobs that need to be filled, which means our K through 12 system needs to be reevaluated. We need vocational schools. We need to get kids started at an early age on the path to STEM. So that we actually are creating engineers and the workforce of tomorrow, especially from a technological standpoint, from a biotech standpoint. We are the greatest force in the world, and our economy is the most powerful. And we have the most innovative and entrepreneurial people. But the fact is that we do have a shortage in the workforce, and we need to deal with this.
So, okay, what you just said is the thing that got Vivek Ramaswamy in some trouble, okay? So here's his post. He says, the reason top tech companies often hire foreign-born and first-generation engineers over Native Americans isn't because of an innate American IQ deficit, a lazy, wrong explanation. A key part of it comes down to the C word, culture, a culture that celebrates the prom queen over the math Olympiad champ or the jock over the valedictorian will not produce the best engineers. Sounds a little embittered, maybe. Is it American culture that's the problem?
Somebody got stuffed in a locker. I'm not going to say who. Look, I think there's a way to solve this and talk about this that doesn't denigrate all of American culture. I mean, I'm now understanding more and more how he got 100 votes in Iowa or whatever it was he got during the Iowa caucus. The reality is, and Elon, by the way, clarified or further explained his position later and was talking about saying, I want to bring in the top 0.1% of engineering talent from around the world. It's like bringing in a Jokic or a Wembyana to help your whole team if you want to make a comparison to the NBA. So I think we can bring in the absolute top talent from around the world and at the same time not insult the rest of the United States of America and our culture and the way we do things here, and also lift up the American students who have the talent and who have the interest and put them in the right educational opportunities. I think what he did today was to overtalk it. A lot of MAGA people are not happy. A lot of Republicans are not happy. And this is why Donald Trump's in the Oval Office. And
okay, a couple of thoughts on that segment. First of all, conservatives, Americans, we are not anti-immigrant. We're anti-illegal immigrant, right? We are definitely for caps. We don't want to have unlimited numbers coming in. We want to have people coming into this country who want to be here, who want to assimilate into our culture, and of course, improve their lives and improve the American society as well. That's who we want. But of course, there has to be limits on it, and we have to know exactly who's coming in and have a full vetting process. However, I do get a little cringe when Representative Representative Mike Lawler there actually mentions, oh, we have a population decline. That's a reason to let people in. No, it's not. That's a reason to make American society better, right? When people are not getting married, they're not having children, what that means is we're not seeing the correct growth in our economy. We're not seeing stability. We're not seeing incomes rise, right? That's something we have to fix first, and then the population will come back. And we may have to incentivize getting married and having kids, just like Poland has done in recent history, all right? But yes, there does have to be an emphasis on vocational schools, learning those high-skilled trades, right? Getting people into the STEM programs. What we've seen in America over the last 30 years is a push for women to go into STEM. Great. A push for women to go into college. Great, right? And what have we seen? We've actually seen more women go into STEM. We've actually seen more women graduate from college, right? But there's been no push for young men to do the same thing, to get out there and train themselves, to be successful, to actually buckle down and study and work hard, right? There's been zero push on any of that. So why not go ahead and enhance that as well? So yes, in the meantime, can we have these H-1B visas where people who are high skilled come in and take some of these jobs that we're in desperate need of? Absolutely. But we shouldn't necessarily be in charge of training them up through our educational system. We have to put more and more emphasis on our own people, our own citizens, our own youth. We have to make that our main priority. And as Scott Jennings actually pointed out, Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy actually clarified their positions a little bit by saying, hey, we have these gaps we need to fill right now, but in the long term, I think we have to go with what I said earlier, get people trained up among our own citizenry. So thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and stay safe out there, people, because they're coming after you.